Warning: this video contains content that may disturb you and challenge your perception of reality. Ensure you're in a safe space before you continue. Hello and welcome to Charlie Ghostlight. I'm Charlie. Each clip you'll see tonight isn't just weird. It scratches at the edge of what we call reality. So lean in and try not to look away, because once you've seen this, you won't unsee it. Let's begin.
Did you guys hear about that 911 operator who got a call at 3:30 in the morning from an abandoned funeral home? If you didn't, I'm about to play it for you. But please keep in mind, this is a funeral home where nobody is currently working. Cops drive by it later to see if anybody was there. It's abandoned, the lights are out, nobody's working. And you can just very faintly hear someone talking.
Hello, 911, this is Erica. How can I help you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
A dead phone from a dead place. But somehow someone was on the other end. Was it a glitch or a cry from the other side?
Have y'all seen this video going around the internet of this man that looks like Kanye West? Now, before I start, this is not false information. This is just opinions, okay? But this guy looks just like Kanye West. The man who took the video was trying to talk to him and he was just completely zoned out, was not moving at all. This man looks more like Kanye West than Kanye West looks like Kanye West anymore. This is Kanye now compared to this guy. And man, he said if he ever disappears, whoever came back wasn't him. That's Kanye from back in the day. Look how much this man looks like him. What's really weirding me out is the haircut, because he looks like he's been lobotomized. I mean, is that Kanye? That looks so much like old Kanye. That is just weird. It's uncanny, for real. It's crazy. And I'm telling y'all, look at this. Here's a before and after picture of a woman after she had a lobotomy down here. It's pretty weird. What do you guys think?
If this isn't Kanye, then who or what is it?
This is the most haunted place on Earth. Located in Louisville, Kentucky, Waverly Hills Sanatorium opened in 1910 and was used to treat patients with tuberculosis. Unfortunately, since this was before there was an effective way to cure the disease, over 6,000 people would die inside Waverly Hills. And some of the treatments they would receive were downright horrific. To help patients breathe, balloons were inflated inside their lungs, and in extreme cases, muscles and ribs would even be removed. After an effective treatment was created, Waverly Hills would close its doors in 1961. With all that death and suffering, it's no surprise it's one of the most active paranormal locations in America. Visitors report disembodied voices, slamming doors, and even objects being thrown. One of the most well-known spirits is that of a boy named Timmy, who's said to play with balls that visitors bring him. Room 502 is where a nurse allegedly hung herself. Her ghost is said to appear in the doorway or cry when no one's there. But somehow, it gets even worse. Below the building lies the body chute, a dark underground tunnel once used to remove corpses from the property in a discreet manner. Today, visitors report shadow figures, voices, and the eerie feeling of being watched. Which is why...
Chills. Actual chills. I saw this clip late at night, and it hasn't left my mind since.
See this right here? 100% fatality rate. Every motherfucker who ended up in there has died.
This terrifying video comes from Vaughn Outside. I'll tag him below. And he's right, because this is what's known as the death machine. And what you can't see is an 8 to 10 foot wall under the water, which creates a current similar to a washing machine. And you would be lucky to get out alive, because these are the most dangerous types of dams. That's why if you're kayaking, you should always take a friend and carry rope. But in this next clip, you'll see how professionals train for this exact situation. But let me know what you think.
literal death trap.
This will be the scariest video you see all week. Watch this. The following video I'm going to show you was submitted by one of my followers all the way from Australia. There are two separate video clips I'm going to let you watch and listen to all together. His son was working in the Australian outback in the middle of nowhere, and they were setting up a camp, like a work camp. First video, you're not going to see much. It's completely dark, but you're going to hear some of the creepiest moaning that you've ever heard, followed by dogs barking, but there were no dogs. Second video is from inside, and you're going to see a creepy, scary looking witch type ghost figure that you've ever seen. Watch this. Let me know in the comments what you think this could be.
No dogs, no sleep.
Have you guys heard of the Night Lady? This all started in Chihuahua, Mexico, 2009. Residents started noticing something really disturbing. You see, now some of the children in the area were going missing. I gotta grab some food for this one. Look at this beautiful roll. Now with all the children around the area going missing, people started reporting seeing a woman. They said she would climb on the rooftops during the day, only to wait till night to sneak in through the window to snatch children. Police then sketched an image of what they believed to be the Night Lady. Only one child has been reported of actually escaping the Night Lady. You see, his parents had ran into the room and caught her just in time. She quickly then escaped and crawled out of the window. Wait, before I continue, let's say the Night Lady had taken you. Your third act has to come and save you. Who is it? Let me know who it is. Anyways, the kid that got away recounted waking up in the middle of the night and seeing the Night Lady standing over top of him, just watching him. People have brushed this off as just one big hoax until after midnight, a teenage girl had captured this photo. This is supposedly the Night Lady.
Tell me that photo at the end isn't real. I dare you.
We need to talk about what happened to Saki. Saki was a girl from Japan who was born with an eye deformity, causing her to have one eye that's much larger than the other. Because of this, she was constantly bullied and often kept her face covered behind her long hair. But eventually, Saki couldn't take the bullying anymore, so she went to the top of an abandoned building with a large rope. Allegedly, as she fell down, the rope yanked on her head, which means even though her body was discovered by authorities, her head was never found. After this, Saki's mother vowed to get revenge for her, beginning with a message she sent to everyone in Saki's school, saying anyone who didn't share her daughter's story was guilty for her death and deserved to be punished. And weirdly, within a few days, multiple students from Saki's school passed away mysteriously, found with their heads torn off of their bodies exactly like Saki. So police arrested Saki's mother, thinking she must be responsible, until another student from Saki's school finally told the truth. In the middle of the night, she woke up to a strange sound. When she looked up, she saw a girl staring at her from her window with one large eye. Realizing this was Saki, the girl immediately sent her story to someone else. And that's how she found out the only way to free yourself from Saki's curse is to pass it on.
Don't ignore this.
If you don't share this video, she'll come get you. Just kidding, but Carmen Winstead was so horrifying. She was just 17 years old, but she wouldn't fit in. She had no friends. Most girls called her weird and said that she was smelly. One rainy day, during a fire drill, they pushed her. She fell 20 feet deep into a sewer and the school said it was an accident. She broke her neck and that was the end of her. But the truth is that she was pushed. Weeks later, the whole school started getting emails saying that if you don't repost this, she will get you. Most people laughed and they thought it was a joke and people were even mocking her. One of the people that was making fun of her never returned home and he was found in a sewer. The neck was snapped and they were frozen in fear. They say the email still goes around, sometimes in your spam or sometimes in TikTok comments. But if you happen to see it and if you happen to ignore it, she will come get you. Don't say we didn't warn you. What did you guys think about this creepy chainmail that was going on? I know, it horrified me.
neck snapped clean.
Did you know that in the Vietnam War, the United States used music to fight against the Viet Cong? They had an operation called the Wandering Soul Campaign, which was based on the Vietnamese belief that if you don't die and aren't buried close to your home, your soul will wander forever. The US created eerie funeral music with children calling out to their fathers in Vietnamese as an attempt to incite fear in the Viet Cong. They had speakers on tanks, helicopters, and even backpacks. And even though we aren't really sure how well the music worked as the United States eventually lost that war, the music was pretty terrifying.
The death called. Alright, let's see this.
She ripped her 2-month-old baby apart and ate him, all because God told her to. In 1993, a 23-year-old mother of 2 sat alone in her house in Ghostlight. Then she heard a voice, and it told her that her newborn baby wasn't human, that he was a demon in disguise, and if she didn't stop him now, he would destroy her. And she believed it. Her name was Consuelo Beroca. Her life was already filled with struggles. She was abandoned by her parents, abused as a child, and battling severe untreated mental illnesses. And over time, she became convinced that her 2-month-old baby Jerito was the spawn of Satan. And one afternoon, she decided that she had no choice but to purge him. She walked into the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and screamed, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to eat you." She sliced through his tiny little chest, removed his organs, cooked him on the stove, and ate him. I'm disgusted. I rebuke any negative energy from this. By the time police arrived, it was already too late. But what they saw when they stepped inside was later described as something that was straight out of hell. Consuelo literally stood there, covered in blood, smiling. She was smiling, y'all. That's so scary. And when the officers demanded to know what she done, she stood there calmly and said, "I killed him. Yep, I ate him." No guilt, no regret, because in her mind, she saved herself. Luckily though, her toddler was unharmed. But I wonder if police hadn't arrived when they did, would she have done the same thing to her other child? How long until that voice in her head turned against him too? Very scary to think about. After her arrest, her lawyers argued that she was so severely mentally ill that she couldn't even comprehend what she did was so wrong. The judge agreed, and instead of prison, she got sent to a psychiatric hospital, locked away indefinitely. But honestly, I don't know how to feel about that. How do you feel about it? Should someone this far gone be accountable, or is insanity a justifiable defense? A lot of people play that card, but here's what I find truly horrifying. In 2001, nearly a decade later, a journalist interviewed her from inside the hospital. When she asked if she had any remorse, she didn't cry, she didn't apologize, she just stared blankly and said, "Sometimes I regret it, sometimes I don't. He's fine now, he's in heaven." Today, she is in her 50s, still locked away, still convinced that she did the right thing. And every single day, she sits in her hospital room, rocking back and forth, clutching a stuffed toy, talking to it as if it were alive. And here's the question that I have for you. If she was released tomorrow, would you feel safe? I'll personally move to the opposite side of the world if that's the case, because I won't. Let me know what you guys think about this case. It's truly insane, and as always, stay safe, because sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones who think that they're the heroes.
No remorse, ever.
Would you believe me if I told you that it's literally documented that they used to host seances at the White House? The White House is literally haunted. Franklin Pierce was the 14th president of the United States, and after he and his wife lost their son in a train accident, the wife became desperate for answers. That's when she invited the Fox sisters, who were like a family of mediums, to the White House to host a seance so that she can communicate with him again. And that's just the beginning, because it wasn't until the Lincolns moved in that hosting seances actually became a regular occurrence. It's documented that the Lincolns hosted as many as 8 seances while they were in office. And the White House was never the same after this. After Lincoln was assassinated, it's theorized that his soul got trapped inside the White House. So many people who have stayed at the White House have claimed to have seen Lincoln's ghost that he is officially known as the White House ghost. There's this story about Winston Churchill. So he's staying at the White House one night, and apparently one of his favorite ways to relax at night is to take a bath with a cigar and a glass of wine. So he's taking this bath in one of the White House suites, and he gets out butt naked in order to go and get one of his cigars. He goes into the next room to get a match, and to his surprise, he sees President Lincoln leaning on the fireplace mantle. And embarrassed and naked, Churchill goes, "Mr. President, you seem to have caught me at a disadvantage." Lincoln turns around, looks at him, chuckles, and then just disappears.
Naked with Lincoln. Listen closely. Something's not right.
What would you do if you saw a man wandering round eating a severed human leg? It was the 22nd of March 2024 in Kern County, California. At roughly 8 a.m. that day, a member of the public was tragically hit by an oncoming train. This was at the Amtrak train station in Wasco. The incident itself was obviously shocking enough, with a pedestrian losing their life after being hit by the train. However, things would then take an even darker turn than anyone could imagine. The force of the train hitting the individual is said to have been so severe that it severed their leg. A 27-year-old man named Rosendo Tellez then allegedly removed the leg from the scene. Eyewitnesses reported seeing him wandering around the local area after the incident, carrying the leg. Witnesses saw him carrying the severed leg around, biting it and shockingly eating it. A horrific video of the incident has been circulating on social media. Thankfully, the man was tracked down and was arrested on charges of removal of human remains from other than a cemetery. He was also charged with violating his probation. He is scheduled to be appearing in court very soon.
Real life horror.
After 65 years, the boy in the box has finally been identified. This was Philadelphia's oldest unsolved homicide, a case that has haunted people all over the world. Hi, I'm Meg, I talk about true crime, and let's get into this case. February 25th, 1957, a college student finds the body of a boy in a box. The boy was completely nude and bruised. His hair and nails had been recently cut. The haircut seemed very rushed. He had little bits of hair all over his body. His body had been recently washed and he was wrapped in a plaid blanket. He had a few unique scars on his body that hinted that he maybe had some sort of medical procedure. The cause of death was never 100% known, but they think it was blunt force trauma to the head. And unfortunately, due to the extreme temperatures at the time, they weren't able to identify when he had actually died. They did estimate that this boy was 4 to 6 years old, so very young. Police had people flying in from everywhere trying to identify this boy. They checked his footprints to hospital records all over the United States. They reached out to orphanages and people of the public to ask if there was a boy of this description missing. They tried even dressing and photographing the boy to see if the public would recognize him better in clothes. People were said to be quite traumatized by these pictures because obviously it was pictures of a dead child. They then created this digital image of what they believed he would have looked like alive, but nothing came of any of this. They did though get loads of leads. I'm quickly going to tell you a few of them. A restaurant owner had claimed to have seen this boy with a man in his restaurant. This man was believed to be his father, and he even went to the morgue and was like, yes, that's him. A barber also came forward saying that he thinks he cut that boy's hair. That one does not make a lot of sense to me because it was said that the hair was cut very abruptly, it was not a good haircut. Either way, nothing came from either of these leads. There was a hat found near his body, nothing came of that either. So then they turned to what was actually with him, the box. This cardboard box had a serial number. They tracked it down to a JCPenney store, and the item actually sold in this box was a crib. 12 of these boxes had gone out, but everyone had paid in cash. A few people did come forward of those 12 people just to clear themselves, but once again, nothing. They even tried finding where the blanket was from, but it could have been from multiple places, so that lead also ended up dying. The police just started ruling out all of these different leads, and it was going nowhere. But the thing I love about this case is that the detectives never gave up on it. They're still working on it. Come back for part 2.
Box in box. Watch at your own risk.
This is what happens when you pass away but can't pay your medical bills. An ominous video was submitted onto a radio station in the Philippines where a man can be seen in an empty room waiting on a hospital bed when he begins to hear voices behind him, but as he looks around, he sees this. A pair of legs can be seen behind the man, but as he looks again, no one's there.
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. That's what I feel like when you ching on me.
Sarah! He begged her to let him out, but instead of helping, she hit record. In February of 2020, police in Winter Park, Florida responded to a disturbing 911 call. A woman named Sarah Boone told them her boyfriend George Torres Jr. had died during what she described as a drunken game of hide and seek. She claimed that he got into a suitcase as a joke and she accidentally fell asleep. But when investigators checked her phone, they found something chilling. 2 videos recorded while George was still inside the suitcase calling out for help. In the background, Sarah could be heard saying things like, "This is how it feels when you hurt me," and "This is how I feel when you cheat." She didn't call for help. She just filmed him suffering. Sarah Boone was charged with second-degree murder after years of delays. In October of 2024, she was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Justice was served, but George's final moments were absolutely heartbreaking.
Missing and never found again. Like, share, subscribe, if you dare. This is Charlie Ghostlight, uncovering what most won't even whisper. Which clip shook you the most? Tell me in the comments. I'm watching. And remember, this is just the beginning.